integrity is just as important as technical skills. We present a case that shows what happened when pressure, shortcuts, and dishonesty collide in a coding class. This case revolves around of students in an introductory programming course. Everything seems normal until submission triggered the system similarity alerts, revealing unusually identical code patterns.
Brad, di ko talaga gets to. Delay na mamaya, di ko pa nasisimulan.
Meron ako dito, boy. Nakalat sa online. Kapag na lang. Punta na lang, variable state. Okay na yun.
Yun. Oy, salamat. Nasubmit ko na. Di mo siguro na yung papansin.
This is where things started to go wrong.
Brad, di kaya tayo mo kung ba ginagawa?
Bakit naman?
Baka mag-delay tayo.
Hindi yun, pre. Ako pa.
Ha? Apply for plagiarism ng yung video?
Ano, pre? Paano?
Brad, salamat ko. Ba't tayo pinamatakot?
Pre, sorry, pre. Di ko na intention na pahalo ka, pre.
Kaya ko yung sa ulam ko.
May mga nakita kami mga similarities sa mga submission nyo. Alam mo ba na mahalaga ang academic integrity? Kaya dapat kayong kausapin tungkol dito.
Ano po yung intention naman, Chief? Na-pressure at nagpanik ang ko ako. Ito po kasi Benson, pinakapin niya ako ng code.
Baka makapumasa ng kasalanan. Intention ko lang pong makatulong.
Kung nahihirapan kayo sa code nyo na yan, nandito ang prop nyo para tulungan kayo.
Kayong dalawa, kung nahihirapan man kayo mag-code, huwag kayong gagaya sa online. Kasi napaka-ethical. Pag once na mabasa na kung kinuha yung code at nag-plagiarize to, pwede kayong makasuhan. Labag ito sa intellectual property.
Oy, Fred, balita ko, pinatawag kayo ni Sir, ah.
Pero si Brad, na-plagiarism kasi yung ginawa na ako.
May pinapagawa kasi ng activity, sir. Eh, may silid akong code dito. Yun, naano kami sa...
Oy, Fred, dito na ako. Good luck na lang. Balitaan nyo na lang ako.
Sige, Fred.
Bumalik mo, sir.
Huwag po kayong dalawa.
Sir, pasensya na po pala yung nangyari ng makaraan. Okay po kami pinatawag din.
Kaya kayo nandito ulit kasi nangyayari sa tao. Kailangan natin maayos yun, kaya bibigyan ka namin ng protection. Pumunta kayo dalawa dito. Papakita ko sa inyo kung paano kayo iwasan ng plagiarize.
Is copying code plagiarism? Have you ever wondered if copying code is considered plagiarism? This is a great question, especially for students in high school and college who are learning to code. Let's break down what plagiarism means in this context and how it applies to your schoolwork and projects. Plagiarism is when you present someone else's work or ideas as your own. This can happen whether or not you have permission from the original creator. In school, students often think of plagiarism as copying text from a book or website without giving credit. However, the same rules apply to code. If you use someone else's programming work and do not mention where it came from, that is plagiarism. There are several ways that copying code can occur. The most straightforward way is taking code from a website, a friend, or a textbook and turning it in as your own without making any changes. Even if you make small adjustments, like renaming variables or rearranging lines, it is still considered plagiarism if the original code is recognizable and you do not credit the source. Sometimes, students believe that rewriting the code in a different programming language is enough to avoid plagiarism. However, if the structure or logic is clearly taken from someone else, it still counts as plagiarism unless you clearly state your sources. In the real world, programmers often share and reuse code, especially in open-source projects. But in school, assignments are meant to showcase your own skills and thinking. Teachers want to see how you approach problems and what solutions you come up with, not just your ability to find and copy answers. Here are some key points to keep in mind for your classes and projects. Copying code without giving credit is always plagiarism, just like copying text. Making minor changes to someone else's code and claiming it as your own is still plagiarism. If you use ideas, algorithms, or code from others, always mention where you got them. This is true even if you rewrite the code in a different style. If you are unsure whether something counts as plagiarism, ask your teacher. It is better to check than to risk getting into trouble. Using code from the internet or books is acceptable for learning, but if you use it in your assignments, you must cite your sources. Here are some practical tips. Start your assignments early so you have time to ask questions and get help if you are stuck. If you look up how to solve a problem online, write your own code based on what you learn instead of copying directly. Keep track of any resources you use, including websites and books, and mention them in your work. If you collaborate with others, make sure you understand what type of collaboration is allowed for each assignment. Some projects are group work, while others must be done individually. Remember, the goal of your assignments is to learn. Copying code might seem like a quick fix, but it will not help you build the skills you need for college or a career in technology. Being honest about your work shows respect for yourself, your teachers, and the original creators of the code you use. If you are ever unsure, talk to your teacher. They can help you understand what is allowed and how to give proper credit. Being careful about plagiarism now will help you succeed in school and beyond.
I realize the shortcuts can be risky. It's always more important to stay honest. In the end, integrity matters more than convenience.
I learned that real help means guiding someone, not giving them the answer. Teaching the process is more valuable. It helps others grow on their own.
I realized that prevention and education are the most effective tools. It's better to learn the right way from the start than to get in trouble from doing something wrong. Good habits protect your future.
We should know how to respect intellectual property. Especially in coding, every line of code has an owner. Giving proper credit is a part of being responsible.
Integrity is more important than skill. That what true IT professional looks like. Doing the right thing is always done first.